once you've shot your images, you open up your images in Photoshop. Once the image is open in Photoshop, the first thing that you need to do is the white balance. So images open here. You make sure that you have the card here. I'll be honest, you want to make sure that you close in on as much of the artwork as possible when you shoot. You want to avoid this much negative space. Really, all you should have in this picture is the artwork and a grayscale. You do not need to see the whole card. Now, once I'm at this point, my next step is going to be coming over down in here in this yin-yang looking thing. I click on that and I'm going to go to curves. When I go to curves, I click on the negative eyedropper here, which is the white. I come over to this white here and I click on that. I could come over to the black, come over and click on that, come over to the gray, and I could actually click on the grays. If I have this one, I could click on these grays to see what it does. That is white balance. You want to get this as close to the artwork as possible, knowing that sometimes doing this white balance doesn't do it exactly. So if it isn't exact or you want to get closer, you could actually play with the sliders. Once you've got it to a good place, click OK. Your next step is going to actually crop the image. Cropping the image, I'll come in here and I'll grab the crop tool. I like to hit caps lock so that way my tool looks more like a crosshair. I come in here. I get as much of the image as possible. You'll notice that the image isn't perfectly square. That's okay. I've got the image selected. I click on the check mark, which tells me that I'm good to go. Now, if you want to clean up these edges in here to make sure that they're even straighter, what you could do is up here in one of the lasso tools, you'll see the Polygonal Lasso tool. Clicking on the Polygonal Lasso tool, I could actually click, come down, click, come across. So I'm sticking as close to my image as possible. Come back around so you'll see that I have the entire image selected. Once there, I could actually come up, click on here, into the Move tool, go up to Edit, Transform, and what I could do is by distorting the image, you're going to see that I'm going to be able to clean this up and straighten it out. So I'm able to pull it. Now I'm paying attention to the running ants. The running ants are the like the little marks that are moving around. And I'm pulling that so that I get it as straight as possible. You cannot see the image being manipulated right now, but it is being manipulated. Once I've got it to a good place, again, I confirm the changes, and I was on the wrong layer. You want to make sure that you're on the background layer. That was wonderful. So once again, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Distort. I was on the wrong layer, so now I have to make sure that I do. There you go. Now you can see it moving. See that? Key thing is that you have to be on the right layer. I was on the wrong layer. And you make sure that it gets it in there nice and straight. Click OK, and I'm good to go. Now from here, I've got it where I want to get it. I'm going to go to Layer, Flatten Image. Then I'm going to save it. First I save it there. Okay. I'm good there. I'm just saving it as its original file. Click OK. Now, making sure that I have the right dimensions, because usually this picture was at a pretty good dimension. However, you're going to want to go to Image Mode, Image Size, Image Size, here. Right here where it says Pixel Dimensions, down in here where we're talking about width and height. Your largest dimension, so here my height, the highest this should be is 3500. Okay? If you go 3500, that almost guarantees that you're going to be at about 3 megabytes or under for your image. So if your largest dimension is less than 3500, try it with 3500 and see how big the file is. If it's over 3500, which most of yours will be, bring it down to 3500. Click OK. File, you go to Save As. make sure that you're selected in a JPEG, and you're going to wind up saving this in your students folder, saved work, AP Studio 1415. You should have a folder, and then you should actually have two folders in here. One is going to be titled Breath. The other one is going to be titled Concentration. This is a breath piece, so we save it in breath, give it a title, whatever title you're going to remember. When you click save, here, you'll notice here it's 4.3 megabytes. That's too big. So I take this and I'm going to slide it down, make it as big as possible. 1.6 is too small. 2.4, beautiful. I click OK. It is now saved. Now I can move on to my next piece. If for some reason you have to rotate your image, which odds are you're going to need to do that, this is actually very simple. It's Image. You can go to Rotate Canvas, and right in here you're going to be able to rotate it however it is that you need to, whether it be completely around 90 degrees clockwise, or obviously Image, Rotate, or 90 degrees counterclockwise. And that'll rotate your image however it is that you need to. So you could do all of your adjustments before you rotate, or you can rotate and then do all of your adjustments. It's your call.